everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Sarah Steffen with Aligned and Alive. Today we're going to talk about a topic that you may not have really talked about or thought much about in the past, and that is home birth. Some of you may not be interested. I think all of us need to be interested in this to a certain extent, because what we're going to touch upon today is some maternal health statistics here in the United States and how shocking and scary they can be. I think one of the primary purposes of my life is to get people thinking about things a little bit differently, and this is one of those topics. Right, had a nurse in my office last week, and she was telling me about how medical doctors are no longer taught how to deliver breech babies. And breech is a normal presentation with pregnancy, right? It's not a problem. It's just different. And if we're not taught how to properly deliver those babies, and yet instead those women are just shipped off to get C-sections, that might be part of our problem, right? What is our problem? Well, our problem is that our maternal health in the United States is tanking, right? I looked up some stats this morning, so I'm going to read you some of these. And this is going to segue into why I think more people should know and need to know about home birth. So maternal mortality rates in the United States are 32.9 per 100,000 live births, which is higher than most other developed countries. Interesting. This rate has been increasing in years, and it's even higher in Black women. So in Black women, it is 69.9 deaths out of 100 live births, right? So mortality rate of 69.9 per 100,000 live births. And there's even a problem with severe maternal morbidity. So this refers to life-threatening or long-term problems that arise after birth, right? And that is also on the rise, and it's also higher than in most other developed countries as well. This is around 1 in 20 deliveries that women will have a rate of severe maternal morbidity. 1 in 20 is a lot. And the causes of this maternal deaths and morbidity is due to bleeding, infections, preeclampsia, eclampsia, and complications from childbirth. Now, in the United States, I don't understand why we look at childbirth as a medical emergency. I've said this for a long time. We have 9 months. We know it's coming. We don't need to, have it be as crazy as it seems to be these days, where women are rushed in and then they have to get on Pitocin drips, or they have to do this and they have to get hooked up to this monitor. It's a normal, natural process that women have gone through for our entire history. In fact, we have encoded DNA in our bodies from all these women that are before us that have done this, and our bodies know how to do this. So why we continue to make it more of a medicalized practice befuddles me. I don't get it. But then again, like I said, I'm here to help you think in a different light. So what did I do when I was pregnant? I don't trust the American medical establishment a whole lot. So what that meant for me is I didn't really want to be in a hospital setting when I was giving birth to our children. My husband was not necessarily on board with this, but I was like, I'm the one doing this. This is why I want to do it. And I laid it out, and we met with some midwives, and that's the route that we chose. So I do feel like I have a little bit of a leg to stand on here in this situation in terms of going over home birth and why it can be so beautiful and important in our society and in our world. So home birth is absolutely an option for many women. Now, if you have a high-risk pregnancy, or you have some kind of complication with your pregnancy, the midwives are going to look at you. They're not going to just take anyone right on as a client of theirs. They want to make sure that they're being safe with their clients. And if someone needs extra care, they're going to refer them to a local hospital or birthing center or the nature, right? But midwives are trained as nurses first and foremost. So they have an extensive background and training in nursing, and then they also have training in midwifery. So when they come to you, or when you go to them for their services, you meet with them. You want to make sure that you're a good fit for a home birth. They want to make sure that you're a good fit for them, right? And over the course of time, unlike a hospital setting where you go in and you have your regular checks and you get cycled through the different providers so you can meet them all, so that no matter who's on at that time, you're going to be able to know the person that is helping to deliver your baby in a hospital setting. You kind of get that same thing with in midwifery as well. But in midwifery practices, most of the time, there's only a few midwives, and you get to know them very well. Instead of it being a rushed appointment each time you go in, it's slow, it's methodical, It's very caring. It's very warm. It's very welcoming. The place that we go to is like every time you walked in, it was like a warm hug. So when you're under the care with a midwife, they will do everything that you're normally used to doing with traditional medical practices. They will take your blood pressure and they'll take your blood draws. They'll do your glucose tolerance test. That was something that I liked a lot more with the midwives than I did with a traditional medical practice, because in the traditional medical world, they make you drink like I don't even know how much, but it's like the orange stuff that's got artificial flavors and colors and all the stuff that I don't want to put in my body. And I don't want my unborn child to be digesting either, or getting the chemicals from either. So in the midwifery practice, you ate a very specific meal. It was an actual meal, toast and jam and orange juice. And they measured your blood glucose from that. I really liked that. But they do everything just like a normal medical practice would, but they get to know you very well. They come and they do a home visit, so they see how your home is laid out, so they can help you determine, okay, if you want to have a tub, let's put it here. We need to be able to reach this tub with a hose, or we're going to need this, or we're going to need that, or how we're going to set things up. They give you a list, at least in my experience, they give you a whole list of things you have to have prepared in advance for your home birth, whether it's towels, gloves, certain equipment that they request that you get, that I'm not even sure all of what it was at this point. I mean, that was 6 and 8 years ago. But our home birth experiences were phenomenal. We spent so much time with those women, with our midwives, that we've often joked with them, because we still are in touch with them today, that they could be at our Christmas dinner table and they would be very welcome, right? Because they are literally like part of our family. They welcomed our family into this world. And for that, they will always hold a special place in our heart. So midwifery is a practice that's been around for a long time. There are people all over the world who are having, women who are all over this world who are having babies at this very second. And many of them don't have hospitals to turn to. They have their family, they have trained people within their tribes or within their communities or within their, wherever they might be living. If you think back to even when we were, thousands of years ago, it was the women who helped the women have their babies. A lot of times doctors weren't even involved. I think a big reason why we have such alarming statistics in the United States for how poor our maternal mortality rate is because we're trying really truly to medicalize something that's not meant to be medicalized, right? We need to realize that the human body has a capacity to birth our children. We don't need all the interventions. And if we did less, would we actually end up with healthier moms and babies? That's what I want us to contemplate today, is would we be healthier if we just let nature run its course a little bit more? If we employed more midwives and more midwifery into the birthing world, how could we really make it healthier and start that trend going up in terms of more maternal health instead of it going down? I hope I enlightened you a little bit on a different topic today, on a different side of that topic. I think many women would really enjoy home birth if they knew what it was. If you knew that you could welcome your baby into your own home at your own temperature and its own smells and sleep in your own bed, it would be so much better, I think. But I think so many women are scared of birth because we've made it a medical emergency almost, instead of it being a natural process that we don't know what to expect and we get fearful. Home birth is something that I absolutely love. I'm very passionate about it. So is my husband. And if there's anything that we can do to help you, if you're in this stage of life, be more comfortable with the idea of birth and potentially home birth and midwifery, we want to be that for you. So reach out if you've got questions. Thanks for tuning in today to this little kind of a different topic, although it's still health related for sure. And like if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned because we've got new episodes that come out every Monday and Thursday.